Hello everybody and welcome to the stream once more, and of course I did not know I had my microphone off, so I'm going to extend my touring with Nick C extra here. Hopefully I'll do it a little bit more better than I did previously anyway, without the odd mistakes or two. We will be going to the word for today, which I thought I'd decide to start with right now, in actual fact here. So we'll do half an hour of just catch up here. If you're watching live, massive hello to you. If you're not watching live, which is as a live on highlights, then comment down below. You're welcome to do so. It's much easier than it is on TikTok, which is where I normally am. First of all, of course, let's do the word for today, which is United Christian Broadcasters, based in Stoke-on-Trent. Check out the website, as they got 2 radio stations that are worth listening to from time to time. I haven't actually listened to them much myself, but I've had a little sneak preview, and it sounds good from where I'm actually sitting or standing. So the subject of this one is, are you washing your nets? Now this one is 19th of May, which is today, which is a Wednesday, 19th of May 2026. He noticed 2 empty boats standing at the water's edge while the fishermen washed their nets. Now, of course, why would fishermen wash nets that haven't been used? The answer is they were quitting because of an overnight problem. We have fished all night and caught nothing. Their expectations had been destroyed, rather like the Southampton situation, which I'm extremely angry as a whole and as a Saints fan. So I'll, of course, leave you to watch the other clip for that one. So their expectations have been destroyed. They believed that the way things was, the way they'd be, they were beaten. That's when Jesus showed up. He came to where they were. He walked right into the middle of their disappointment with a solution. First, he asked them for their boat and used it to preach to the crowd and heal the multitudes. Child of God, turn everything over to him, all you have, all you are, and all you'll ever be, and let him use you for his highest purposes. Next, he gave them a word that only faith, as in belief, would receive. Launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a drought. Can you see now why he has to wait until you've done everything you know to do? Only then are you ready to listen, even through his word doesn't seem to make sense. You're ready to obey without question. Are you discouraged today? Is it your ministry, your marriage, your job, or your health? You may be washing your nets, but it's not over. Who told you God wasn't going to bless you again? Who told you he wasn't going to bring victory out of your ashes? It's not over until he says it's over. If he can fill empty nets for those discouraged disciples, then you don't have a problem he can't take care of. And that's the end of the word for today for now. And of course, probably I'll read that later on another channel. So yeah, I'm just going to catch up with some of the leaflets that I left behind here. And of course, Discovering King's Lynn is actually one of them here. The Brim Full of History. Visit westnorfolk.com. Includes a free illustrated map inside the actual magazine. And a magazine should look something like this. If you discover any of those in Norfolk, then give it a read. It tells you on the back, of course, a lot of information there about the Tourist Information Centre, TIC. King's Lynn TIC is situated at Storage of Lynn. Of course, the number for more information, if you can't get there, 0133, can't even say it's late. So it's 01553 774 297. That's 01553 774 297. Kings-lynn.tic, which is Tourism Information Centre, and that comes with an alive westnorfolk.co.uk. Open daily if you are able to get to Kings Lynn, 10 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. Now, public transport, of course, that's for trains and bus stations. So look in this guide for the map for that. And National Rail Inquiry Line 0345 748 4950. Local and national bus information travel line is 0871 200 2233. So that's the information travel line. Who here actually leave us a comment here if of course if you're one of those that has actually phoned up the bus information travel line for the times of buses and that kind of thing. I think these days people find out on the internet. So yeah, if you know of anyone that has actually phoned up that number, then let me know. Probably it costs a bit of money on your landlines if you do have a landline these days, or mobiles these days here in 2026. And the other thing I need to tell you very quickly here is about, of course, the Kings Lynn Town Guides. Kings Lynn is based in Norfolk, and they do have town guides. And of course, I don't think every town has a town guide. I don't think Haverhill, Suffolk has one. Tourist attraction towns might have one, but of course, Haverhill is probably the only place. It's not really a tourist attraction place. I don't even know if they have a tourist information centre. I don't think they do. But anyway, of course, maybe some people think differently to that. So, of course, the town guides of Kings Lynn we're talking about today, the Kings Lynn Town Guides reveal over 900 years of maritime and trading history that are preserved in the historic core of Kings Lynn. Discover buildings which include medieval churches and guild halls, and have the opportunity to see secret courtyards and hidden alleys around Kings Lynn, that is. And there is a varied programme for guided walks which explore the history of Kings Lynn that take place in April right way through to the end of October. And afternoon walks start from 2 p.m. on a Tuesday to Saturday, whilst Thursday evening walks are available during the June and July in 2026, starting at 7 p.m. Special walks take place during several festivals across the summer. Details of all the walks, including the starting point, of course, please check the leaflet, which is called Guided Walks Around Kings Lynn, which is available from the Kings Lynn Tourist Information Centre. Specialists and private tours are also available. All walks last about 2 hours long. Regular walks for adults is £5, which isn't too bad really for a guided walk, and children get a free walk. And see number 1 on the map overleaf if you have this guide. It is very useful. And Kings Lynn Tourist Information Centre is based in Stories of Lynn, Saturday Marketplace in Kings Lynn, PE 305DQ. That's PE 305DQ. Saturday Marketplace in Kings Lynn. And it's got loads and loads of information there, and just the list goes on. And of course, this is basically the guide here. Just before we go on here, I'd like to zoom in if I can. No, I'm gonna have to move the camera a little bit so you can actually see it. There is fire action there. Can you all see a little bit of the information here? I'm in room number 4 here, and it tells you a little bit about the fire safety here. And of course, activate the nearest fire alarm number 1, and blah blah blah, must call 999. And number 3, only tackle the fire using the correct extinguishers and without taking risks. And when a fire alarm rings, leave the building by the nearest exit, which is number 1, and number 2, make sure all the doors are closed. number 2, go to the fire assembly point at blah 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 blah. And of course, do not collect any personal belongings, and do not return to the building, and do not use the lifts, which is quite also useful. So that's basically what it says on that door there, and they do have to have the health and safety procedures at all places in buildings like this. There you go. Can you see that a little bit more clearer now? There it is. It actually zooms up a little bit more closer as well. Okay, let's go back. It's got quite a good zoom there. Anyway, let's go back to me now. So, yeah, that's discovering Kings Lynn. All right, okay. And of course, I'm going to very quickly tell you about the visiting Norfolk's top 10 museums, and they are, okay, the top 10 museums according to this magazine is Museum of Norwich, Norwich Castle Museum and Art Gallery, Strangers Hall, and Toll House Gull. And by the way, the Strangers Hall is based in Norwich, and the Time and Time Museum in Great Yarmouth, and Elizabethan House Museum in Great Yarmouth, Cromer Museum, and of course the Greason Hall Farm and Workhouse based in Dereham, and the Lynn Museum in Kings Lynn, and the Ancient House Museum based in Thetford. So yeah, we'll tell you a bit more about this little guide here at a latter stage as well, so please do stay with us, the one that you're on for that. So great days out in Norfolk and Suffolk, which is useful for you lot out there, very very useful, which we spoke about on the previous platform, which is the TikTok channel. Now of course, let's talk a little bit about the Mid Norfolk Railway here to Dereham, Wyndham Abbey and Heritage Railway line. Now very quickly, of course, the steam and diesel gala weekends every year. Of course, they host a popular steam and diesel galas, or galas, with much loved residents, locomotives and exciting visiting engines. These events attract visitors from far and wide, especially when we welcome, or they welcome, a world-renowned guest locomotive, making it a true highlight of their calendar for enthusiasts and families alike. And you've got the Dino Squad Express. Of course, dinosaurs have taken over the railway. Meet roaring prehistoric giants at the station, and on board their vintage carriages pulled by real steam engine, with dino-themed activities, fun photo ops along the way. It's a raw-tastic day out for the whole of the family. And the 1940s themed weekend, step back in time to the nostalgic 1940s with live music, vintage vehicles, reenactors, stalls, period displays, ride on their steam train and soak up the atmosphere all along the line. Held annually on the first weekend of August, August, not August, so it's held, say that again, because it's late. Held annually on the first weekend of August. It's a fantastic day out for the whole family. And Polar Express train ride, do you believe? Of course they do. Join us on a majorly exciting experience like no other. Their conductor and his chefs look forward to welcoming you on board, where you'll be served hot chocolate at your seat whilst being transported to the North Pole to meet the big man himself. Well, you're coming. The gift vouchers are available if you're struggling to find the perfect gift. The vouchers are ideal that the person who has everything. Use them on the regular and special running days, dining trains and music trains. Treat someone to a memorable journey through beautiful Norfolk countryside, a gift that they will treasure forever. Find out online or contact us on their contact details. So that's the Mid Norfolk Railway, the Dereham, Wyndham Abbey and Heritage Railway line. And the Dereham station is, of course, on there. So it says at the back of this booklet where to find Dereham station there. You might be able to see that on your screen, actually. So I'm going to read it to you anyway. So there it is. So Dereham station, step back in time at our beautifully restored main station. Visit the nostalgic tea room, browse the themed gift shop, and explore the railway museum. Railway station, Station Road, Dereham, Norfolk, NR 191DF. And the Wyndham Abbey Stadium, of course, their southernmost station sits beside the historic Wyndham Abbey, which actually was founded in 1107. A perfect stop for the history lovers. Wyndham Abbey Station, Wyndham Abbey Station, Becketswell Road, Wyndham, Norfolk, NR 189PH. And the County School Station, not served by trains, but of course a charming heritage spot with a museum, tea room, miniature railway picnic area, and woodland walks. Holt Road of North Elmham, Norfolk, NR205LE. So, of course, find out more information about the Mid-Norfolk Railway, Dereham Station, Station Road, Dereham, Norfolk, NR191DF, and the number is 01362 690633, info at mnr.org.uk. That's Mid-Norfolk Railway.co.uk. That's midnorfolkrailway.co.uk, and the registered charity number of 1046931. Okay, so let's talk very quickly about what's on the East Anglia Railway Museum here. East Anglia Railway Museum, open weekends, Wednesdays and bank holidays. EARM, which is East Anglia Rail Museum.co.uk for more information. This is, by the way, of course, subject to 2026. There's a murder mystery evening, a new exhibition hall now open. And of course, tell us where you found this leaflet and save. Exactly, that very thing. And you can probably save a lot. You can get a discount on a range of events if you tell them where you found this leaflet. Classic vehicle show, East Anglia Bus Day, the Steampunk Shenanigans, the Essex Electric, as in Electrics exhibition, and the Model Railway Show, and the Chapel Beer Festival. And of course, the admission prices for this, that's the East Anglia Railway Museum. Of course, for a child it is $4.50 museum day. That's museum day, and event day is $8.50, $9.50 for a special event, and day out with Thomas, £15 plus a booking fee. And for adults, for museum day is £8.50. Event day is $11.50, and special event is £13.50, and day out with Thomas £19 plus a booking fee. Of course, well-behaved, I'll repeat that once more. Well-behaved dogs are welcome on leads at no extra charge. So yeah, if you have a dog with a lead, it's welcome without no charge whatsoever. That's good to know, isn't it? So yeah, help us, that's what they say, help us to continue preserving the past for the future generations, and gift aid your mission if you can. Tickets can be purchased in advance from our website. Some events require pre-booking. See www.earm.co.uk for details. If you require step-free access to the museum, please consult our reception staff on arrival for driving directions to the alternative entrance. So you can find them by car or by train. Of course, they are based at the Chapel and Wakes Cold, which is 8 miles from Colchester on the A1124, CO6 and 2DS. Regular Greater Anglia trains also run to the museum from Markstay to Sudbury. That's East Anglia Railway Museum, Chapel Station, Station Road, and Chapel near Colchester, exit CO6 and 2DS. Telephone number is 01206 242 524. earm.co.uk, and the information. If you want to ask for absolutely nothing about the information about the East Anglia Railway Museum, which is information at earn.co.uk, registered charity number 1001579. So there you go. That's what's on 2026. If you're watching in the future, it will be obviously the East Anglian Railway Museum, Chapel Station, Colchester, Essex. So that's useful information there. Now, finally, we're going to mention about the Great Yarmouth Guided Heritage Walks, which we'll probably do a little bit further on another show here and do more details of the walks here. So please do listen out for that. So yeah, I will be doing it more in depth here. And Great Yarmouth Guided Heritage Walks and Talks. And you can find out more information about the heritagewalks.co.uk, and of course marketing at great-yarmouth.gov.uk for these walks and talks. There's the quay side and seaside. Okay, Great Yarmouth sister town of Gorleston-on-Sea has a fascinating history of its own. Located south of Great Yarmouth at the mouth of the River Yare, this walk takes in the beautiful promenade, the pier and the river. Walkers can also take a look inside the fabulous Edwardian Pavilion Theatre after the walk. And there are prices for this, by the way. Great Yarmouth at War, of course, find out about how Great Yarmouth was damaged during the war with devastating effects on buildings and to families. And sit through time, of course, in 1908 there was 905 licensed premises in the town. Now there are less than 45. Discover the story of the landlady who was hanged because she would not reveal a true murderer. The tavern run by a pilgrim father, the inn where Dutch officers were kept as prisoners of wars, or where you would stay on holiday if you were teetotal. Starting point at this stage is Friars, as in Blackfriars Tavern, of course, 94 Blackfriars Road, NR30 3BZ. A finishing point at Tombstone Brewery, Saloon Bar, 6 George Street, NR3018R. Approximately 90 minutes. That's 1.5 minutes of the actual walk tour. So that's how long it lasts, 90 minutes there, which is an hour and a half. And they take place Sunday, 19th of April at 2 p.m, Wednesday, the 20th of May at 10:30 a.m, and Sunday, the 18th of October at 2 p.m. All in 2026, by the way. And from Romans to rescuers, from Romans to rescuers. Find out about the Roman beginnings of Colchester-on-Sea as the village traces back over 2,000 years. Ever heard of the phrase "Colchester men never turn back"? Hear about their heroic rescuers and how that famous saying came to be. Very interesting. Sunday the 31st of May, 10:30 a.m, quite early in the morning, isn't it? And Sunday the 27th of September at 10:30 a.m, Colchester-on-Sea. Alright, okay, of course, there are so many others as well. There's Seaside Stars. We'll talk about that more at a later stage as well. More tales of the old cemetery, building a seafront and the finest quay. The medieval town wall, the Minster memorials, the gruesome Great Yarmouth, the Rose and Red Herrings. Gruesome Great Yarmouth, as I just said. Let's have a look at the Great Yarmouth Heritage Open Days. See Great Yarmouth in a different light during the Heritage Opening Days, or Open Days. Explore the boroughs. I don't want to talk about borough at the moment. Of course, a fascinating past with the unique opportunity to visit some amazing buildings and places. Bookings for Heritage Opening Day events on Wednesday the 26th of August at 10 a.m. And growing up in Southtown Talk, of course, reminisce with us as we talk about what it was like to grow up in Southtown in the 50s and the 60s. We talk about the history and the development on the area, what the houses were like, and the school and the everyday life. And the finest key walk, of course. Oh, by the way, the Growing Up in Southtown talk, of course, is something that lasted about an hour long, and on Saturday the 19th of September 2026 at 2 p.m. The finest key walk, of course, learn about Great Yarmouth's historic South Quay, described several times by Daniel Defoe excuse me, as the finest quay in England, if not Europe. Okay, and of course it lasts about 90 minutes of the actual walk here. Wednesday the 16th of September 2026 at 10:30 a.m. And the last train to Belton Walk, which is quite an interesting one here. Belton may look like a essential sleepy Norfolk village nowadays, but back in the 1858 the mainline London train pulled in at the penultimate stop before Great Yarmouth. Find out what impact the railway had on the village. Very interesting to know about that one. The starting point is Belton Village sign near Bell Lane Car Park, NR319LD. And the circular route lasts about 90 minutes, and Sunday the 20th of September at 2 p.m. if you're interested in all of that. So, of course, the final one that I'm going to mention here, I'm going to leave you with all this, by the way. Sit Through Time Special. Join us or join them on those or these special edition walks, which include a stop or two in local pubs. Of course, they start at the award-winning Blackfriars Tavern and weave their way through the town to Tombstone Brewery and Saloon Bar. And prices for this one is £15 per person. There is a price for that. Free Lackens voucher as well. And the starting point, as I said previously, Blackfriars Tavern of 94 Blackfriars Road, and finishing at Tombstone Brewery and the Saloon Bar. And of course the tour lasts about 2.5 to 3 hours, which is 2.5 to 3 hours, roughly speaking. And they take place on Thursday 11th of June 2026, 6 p.m. and 6 p.m. on Wednesday the 29th of July 2026 and Sunday the 23rd of August 2026 at 6 p.m. And the cover photograph is World War I War Memorial at St George's Park. The cenotaph located at St George's Park of Great Yarmouth is one of the Great Yarmouth's most important monuments. It commemorates the residents of Great Yarmouth who gave their life in the First World War, and at least 1,427 names. Find out more in the Great Yarmouth at War Walk. Okay, that's the Great Yarmouth Guided Heritage Walks and Talks. We'll tell you a little bit more information about this on another show in more depth. Thank you for taking your time to watch this here. I am so a little bit disappointed to hear about Southampton being kicked out of the playoffs, as I previously mentioned on the other channel, which of course the other video, which I'm going to have to delete now because there was no sound on the previous talking. It was just totally dead silence. Yeah, that's because of the shock of no, it wasn't really, but of course the shock of hearing the news here. And to my liking, even though I'm a Saints fan, I think it's disgusting that the corrupt FA are doing this, and we need to build up something completely different, like of course Great Britain football, as we all get together. Of course, unite the football as we all come together and of course support each other, and not to be so much about the money. Okay, there might be money involved in it, but of course people are there not about the money. You know, they can earn about £20 a week for something like that. I think it's disgusting what happened there with the Middlesbrough thing, and personally I think it has been an attack on Southampton to stop them winning and getting into the Premiership. I think it's disgraceful, and I think that of course it's been set up to do that. And how can Middlesbrough get into the final without winning a game. It's incredible. But yeah, nobody should be in it there, and it should only have been a fine. And of course, I don't know where we go from there. But of course, that's my own opinion. I don't know how many other people have the same opinion, but I'm sure there's a lot of Saints fans that are very hugely disappointed about that. And I'm going to read you what Dola says about that at some stage during my shows within the coming days. But of course, yeah, you've heard it from me, but I'd like to hear it from the public, what they think. I think it's devastating blow. You know, yes, it might be illegal to watch someone's training, but they could have trained a different style to what they would play on the day. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They could have changed the formation on the day, so that was no excuse whatsoever. I know it was no excuse not to do it. They shouldn't have done it. Yeah, that really messed up our chances. But they still should have changed the format of their game style on that game. And apparently it was Oxford and Ipswich it took place as well. But what is going on? What is going on? But anyway, of course, enough of that sort of messing about here. We're not really here about that sort of rubbish. You know, who wants the Premiership anyway? It's just a mess. The whole lot of it. It's just sickening, isn't it? And it's another 2-2 justice connected to the Labour again. Yet again, we bring them in. It's the one in power that is causing all this. Would it have happened if it was another party involved? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, we'll leave that racing for your mind. Thank you for watching. And until next time, as we always say, well, as Gary Zeitz may say, let's give it a go. Well, let's give it a close, actually. And we promise to keep that positivity for you. Take care of yourselves and most importantly each other. And we'll be back before you can say the words. Are you back already? God bless and stay safe and good night. Well, it's good morning from my time here. Oh, by the way, of course, I've got to read you some news that's just come in. Arsenal have won the Premier League title after a 22-year wait. That seems to be a long time, doesn't it? And Surrey police investigating child sex abuse allegations linked to the Epstein files. And Southampton, as we talked about now, kicked out of the Championship playoff and docked 4 points as well, which is another blow as well for Spain, apparently so. Donald Trump says he has called off new Iran attack at 1 hour's notice, as JD Vance warns Tehran, which is Tehran, about option B. And supermarkets, urged to limit food prices by government, according to FT. And police urge potential victims to come forward after Married at First Sight UK rape allegations. Okay, celebrations in Arsenal. I wonder if they sort of match fixed that as well to win the league as well. No one's investigating them. Anyway, of course, yeah, they get away with murder, they do. Anyway, we forget about Arsenal winning the Premiership. Till next time, take care of yourselves and most importantly each other. Bye for now. Bye-bye, everybody.